And as we continue our Olympic coverage, since the sport rugby sevens was introduced to the Olympic Games back in 2016, the United States has never medaled. The team will look to change that this year at their third try in Paris. But the difference this time around, the U.S. will be bringing a West Michigan native to help improve their fortune.
It's really cool to be able to represent Michigan. It might be like equally as cool as I feel like representing the rest of the country.
Caledonia native Alena Olsen wasn't introduced to rugby until her freshman year at the University of Michigan.
They're like, oh, yes, anybody who wants to try it, come here, come play. Like, we want to have you here. We want to have you love the sport.
And just 10 years later, Olsen will head to the Olympics as part of the U.S. Rugby Sevens team.
That one's so hard because I feel like I'm still in the process of like accepting it all.
After a two-time All-American career with the Wolverines, Olsen had the chance to make the jump to the national team.
A team that can beat pretty much anyone on the circuit.
The men's team at the time had like a USA coach who was scouting, and he was the one that's like, you should come to this like talent ID camp. And that's when it was like, oh, there are some doors that could open with this sport.
But Olsen's journey from never playing the sport,
you have to be okay with failing,
to college rugby,
it's a big jump,
to the national team.
I remember one of the first times I got hit by one of like the national team players, and I peed my pants because she hit me so hard.
Was anything but a breeze.
In the residency program, it's like you're like living, eating, sleeping rugby, and that can be exhausting. Especially in the first like 3 years, I was facing a lot of rejection. And ultimately I wasn't selected for the Tokyo Olympics.
But spoiler alert, she didn't give up. 4 years later, Olsen is one of 12 players selected to represent the United States in Paris.
The most amount of emotion I get is like when I see the way that my family reacts and my friends react, and when they're talking about it is when I feel like I'm like tearing up a little bit.
And the proudest part for Olsen?
Look at the celebrations. The USA Eagles women's team
Getting to represent her hometown of Caledonia on the world's biggest stage.
My teammates know how much of like a Michigander I am at heart. I will get every chance I get, I will let them know, and I love seeing people from Michigan succeed.